Hello everybody, Cal Banyan here, Cal Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. And I'm back with Brenda Titus. She's been my co-host for a little while now, but we haven't had her around for, I don't know, a little while because she was doing some things and we had some training going on, and I got to squeeze Erica Flint in, and so she's back. She says she's a little bit rusty, but this is our second podcast that we're recording together since she came back, and she doesn't seem to be rusty at all. Oh, let me tell you what, this is part 2 of probably a little secret technique that too many hypnotists are not doing. This one thing, and if you watch the first one, you know what it is. If you don't, then go back to the podcast before this. We'll put a link right below so that you can get it in order. But there's something that probably 80% of the hypnotists are not doing, that if they did do it, their hypnosis practice would flourish, and their ability to do better hypnosis would improve. They'd enjoy doing hypnosis more than ever, and I just think it would be a great thing. Let me tell you about Brenda Titus. Besides being my co-host, she's also got a bachelor's degree in sociology. She's got a master's degree in criminology. She's got experience in the talk therapy world doing rape crisis intervention, and then she switched over to the world of hypnosis, and she's been going like a skyrocket ever since, contributing to the profession, helping out her peers, and just making a name for herself. How you doing, Brenda?
I'm doing great, Cal. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm thrilled to be able to talk about this topic with everybody. But first, let me introduce you to Cal. So Cal is the hypnosis celebrity. He brings us these weekly podcasts every single week. For years and years, he's got all of these wonderful resources to be able to get out there. He's been on TV, he's been on radio, talking about the profession, sharing information about the secret language of feelings, sharing information about hypnosis. He is a trainer of some of the top people in the profession, teaching, speaking engagements, seeing clients, making public appearances. He's the developer of 5-Path Hypnotherapy, which I use with pretty much all of my clients, as well as 7-Path Self-Hypnosis. The developer of the secret language of feelings, really getting it out there, and such a support to people who are new to the profession. People are out there really trying to make a difference in this world, bringing hypnosis out there, and I'm just so thrilled to be here and have him in my life as kind of one of those mentors and guides, as well as my teacher. And just thrilled to be here to share in this podcast and helping other people learn how they can advance the profession, especially advancing themselves in the profession by being better hypnotists. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, Cal, how we can be better hypnotists.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, as you were talking about, my background and stuff, and I was thinking, wow, I wish I would have had this stuff available to me when I was just getting started. And my rise in the profession is nothing compared to your rise in the profession. Think about that. It took me, years to get known. And here, now you're known all around the world. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty amazing, and I have an incredible amount of gratitude for that, and an incredible amount of appreciation for being able to be here and to be able to help other people. And so thank you so much, Cal, for letting me have this incredible opportunity.
When you go to the National Hypnotist Convention, you're going to be a hypno celebrity.
Yeah, I'm actually meeting with Erica tomorrow to talk about some things. I need to remind her about that, because it is wonderful to go out to the convention and people know who I am, which is really is a pretty neat thing. So thank you all for watching every week, and I really hope to be able to share some incredible information today that is going to help you advance your ability to be a part of this profession. So what do you think, Cal?
I think we should get on with it.
All right, so this series actually started because I went and experienced hypnosis, hypnotherapy, full range of 5-Path for myself. I met a friend last year at the convention and we hit it off, and so I have been seeing her for the last few months, and so I really wanted to share that incredible experience of what it's like to go through this process as the client, because it absolutely has helped my business so much. So last week we kind of talked about why would one of us want to go out and experience sessions, so go back and check that out if you haven't already seen it. And today we're going to experience the literal process of what it's like to be a client for yourself. And a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about experiencing direct suggestion for yourself as well. And then as we come along, we'll keep talking about some additional processes with that. But I definitely wanted to start, I think I used in my notes so many times, wow. So that's what I have to say to start things off, Cal. Wow. Even though I saw a hypnotist who is a 5-pather, so much of what she does is very much in line with what I do, even though she's more experienced than myself. Literally being in the client's seat changed a lot for me. It gave me a lot of understanding about what my clients go through to experience coming to see me. And it gave me a lot of compassion. It gave me a lot of really being able to help them. So before I start and what I learned, Cal, do you have anything that you'd like to share about that?
Yeah, I think I kind of I want to talk about as far as, why people should go in and that kind of thing. So let's go for it.
Excellent. All right. Well, today I wanted to start with literally that literal process of becoming a client and how incredibly valuable it is for every hypnotist to really experience what that is like, to literally step into the shoes of being a client. So important, because we need to remember when they call us and they are ready to come in and see us, they are ready to change their lives. As you all know, for some people, they've tried everything. They've tried some talk therapy. They've maybe gone to this kind of doctor, that kind of doctor. They've lived their lives with whatever issue it is that they're coming to see you for. And finally, they've said, I'm going to give hypnosis a try. And then they decided that they were going to give you a try. So being on that client side of things, you develop a whole level of empathy and compassion for your clients. Because as you know, first there's the realization, as we say, that you need help. So for some people, that could be a variety of things like we talked about last week. The realization, I think I'm really going to invest my time, my effort, and my money in experiencing this for myself. So then, of course, there's the literal process of reaching out for help and deciding if you have that time and that money and ability to invest in sessions. So really, like I said, experiencing that for yourself, because, like I said, even for me, I had to carve out a bunch of time, to be able to do this. And our clients have to do that as well. So really stepping into those shoes made a very big difference for me, about making that commitment for myself, as well as then ultimately that commitment for my business. And then I learned a lot about what it's like to really sit down and get yourself ready to go to sessions. That literal, really helped me understand. Every once in a while, I have clients kind of come to my first session and bring me, their list of, well, this is what's going on, and this is what I think the problem is, and it's, and I've actually had a few clients who've come and, brought me literally a letter, pages long, about their history and what have you. And then I experienced it for myself. And you know what I did, Cal?
What's that?
I did pretty much what all my clients do. I wrote I think I wrote like a 3-page long email to Stephanie saying, well, there's this and this and this and this. And I kind of laughed, because I know that, that is very helpful. But as we all know, there's what the client thinks they're coming to see us for. And then there's what's really going on beneath the surface. So it really makes me really understand my clients a lot better, to realize, oh, I did that, didn't I? Okay, good to know. But also really sitting down and stopping and saying, why am I doing this? Really narrowing down that, why you're coming in for sessions, what the benefits are. So that's actually, I really wanted to talk about just that step before you ever even show up, to really experience that, so that you can have that understanding of what your clients are going through. So I wanted to share a little bit about some of those things that I had learned, because going through it for myself, I really grasped, oh, okay, this is what they're going through. And I have a lot better ability to explain that process now, to prepare my clients to see them by having experienced that. So anything you'd like to add, Cal, before I move to the next step?
Are you going to say it when you get more towards the end of this? Or you're going to say, now, I'm curious about what actually changed in how you're doing sessions because of this.
Well, really, truly, it has to do with, it's all encompassing, quite frankly. By experiencing the entire process for myself, I understand it that much better. So literally being in the client's shoes for me, and I've seen this with other clients, that other hypnotists that I have worked with, that has helped them understand being in the shoes of the client. So it's literally an all-encompassing kind of thing. And I think I can expand on that a little bit as we move to this next part, which is experiencing direct suggestion for yourselves. Because I'm kind of going through like similarly to how we would do a 5-path process. So I want to talk a little bit about just the literal stepping into the shoes of being a client by preparing. Now let's talk a little bit about direct suggestion. So I know that coming up at the convention, Cal is going to be having a talk about the universal script, or sometimes we call it the high road, low road. And I know Cal spent some time in podcast episode 167 talking extensively about that, but I want to talk a little bit about that for just a couple of minutes, because as we've said, until you experience some of these things and experience what it really means for you, you don't really necessarily always realize the impact that that's making on the clients. And, I've done lots of high road, low road. I've done plenty of universal script with my clients for a variety of reasons. And it definitely has that capacity to really hit different notes for people. And then there's being in the hypnosis chair and experiencing it for yourself.
Brenda?
Yes.
I think that, you're talking about the universal script, the high road, low road script, and we don't want to have people go back and listen to that or watch that video to know what you're talking about.
Oh.
So you need to kind of give like a brief description of what that's about.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. I cut so much out of what I thought I was going to talk about. But yes, so the high road, low road, universal script, so preview of some of the things that I was talking about. So the high road, low road is literally, your client is standing at the fork in the road of their life. They've got to make some important decisions. Are they going to keep doing what they've been doing? Or are they going to make some changes in their life? And as the hypnotist walks the client through, if they were to keep doing what they've been doing, like as if they hadn't ever come and seen you for sessions, they were going to keep coming and doing that, what's their life going to look like? A year down the road, maybe 5 years down the road, even 10 years, depending. So that they can really experience, oh my gosh, what can my life be like if I just keep going along as I've been doing? And then the hypnotist takes them up the high road to see, well, if you start making the changes, or I should say when you start making the changes that you are here to make as a client, when you start making those changes, look at what you can do in your life. And I have to tell you, Cal, it's really solidified for me in using this kind of script and really advancing people and having them think about the best that could happen or the worst that could happen, and letting them really experience that through direct suggestion to get them started. It really turns their eyes around into, oh my gosh, into stopping and thinking about, well, maybe it's not a big deal for today what I'm doing with my life and some of the decisions that I'm making, but if I expand that out to a year from now or 5 years from now or even 10 years from now, what are the ramifications of all of that? And it literally, there are elements to what I experienced in direct suggestion that I don't think I'll ever forget, because it was that clear and solid of oh my gosh, I'm never going back to do, such and such behavior, such and such attitude. And you can really experience that for yourselves. And so I really encourage people, like I said, experience what it's like to be a client, because that way you can understand what your clients are really going through. And it's something that we talk about all the time, but to really truly experience it, it makes a huge difference. So that's really what I want to share for this episode, especially, is that really taking that step to become a client, so that you can understand the process, understand what your clients are going through, have compassion for what they're going through in taking the steps to come and and see you, taking the steps to decide to make this change, and then really understanding this process from the inside out by experiencing it for yourself. It can help you become a better hypnotist, both by getting, out of your own way and, overcoming any blocks that you have to doing the work, but also to literally experience being in their shoes and experiencing what they're experiencing so that you can anticipate better what your clients are going to bring to the table each week when they come to see you. What do you think about that, Cal?
Well, I think this is an important topic. I've got two things I want to say real quick. One is, let me just do this. I'll save the next one for the other one for the next podcast. When you use scripts like the high road low script, it goes beyond normal, regular, classical direct suggestion, because the high road low road script is actually an age progression script. And it does something that 99% of most direct suggestion can't do, and that's create insight. And when you create insight, then you can do a segue that embeds direct suggestion into the insights, making them permanent. You heard Brenda talking about, I see there was behaviors that I will never do again. So that tells me Stephanie is doing it right. All right, wrap it up.
Thank you so much, Cal. This is why I like to talk about these things with you, because I have so many questions that I experienced, and you hit it right on the head, and it's exactly what I was thinking, and exactly it is that, we develop these insights through doing this, and I definitely encourage people. There are so many resources out there that are freely available to you, both on the podcast as well as on calbanyan.com, to learn more about that universal script. If you're going to the convention, go. I might actually go to his session on the universal script again, just to solidify, because I didn't used to use it as much as I do now, because I've really understood now the incredible difference that you can make for people. And I think he hit it right on the head, with talking about it being an insight-driven, age progression type of work. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to all of you about this. So stick with us. Next week, we're going to talk further about this process, and we're going to hit some things about working with age regression and forgiveness, and I'm going to have some more questions, because I experienced some things that I want to have Cal help me understand so that I can continue to be a better hypnotist, and so that you all can be better hypnotists as well. Really grow your business, your practice, and really help people make incredible differences in their lives. So we'll be back next week to continue this process.
All righty, thank you very much. Time to wrap it up. Let me just say, I invite you to check into my upcoming courses. I have a course coming up in July, starting July 14th, another certification course coming up October 13th. These are 10-day certification course. It's 5 days, then 2 days off, then 5 days. And you watch these videos and you listen to these videos, and each one is like the tip of the iceberg. In class, we're going to go into so much more depth, and I just think, I know you're going to be amazed. So that's it for today. Cal Banyan, signing off.
This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.